Virgo, look at the calendar. I mean it. Stop whatever your hands are doing and look. Find today's date. Trace it with your finger if you have to. Feel the paper, the pixel, the weight of the number 12. Because today is the 12th and tomorrow is the 13th. And that gap between those two numbers, that slender 24-hour corridor that you are currently standing in, is the last quiet moment you are going to have before everything detonates, before the news arrives, before the explosion, before the single piece of information that has been traveling toward you like a comet with your name carved into its core finally breaches the atmosphere of your life and impacts with a force that will register on the Richter scale of your soul. I am not being metaphorical for effect. I am not building suspense to entertain you. I am reading the energy of your timeline with a clarity that makes my hands cold. And what I see is this. By the 13th of this month, before the sun sets on that day, before the clock strikes midnight and turns the page again, you are going to receive very strong news. News so potent, so reality altering, so saturated with destiny that it will not simply arrive. It will explode. It will detonate. It will send shock waves through every room you occupy, every relationship you maintain, every assumption you have made about what your immediate future was supposed to look like. And Virgo, because I love you, because I see you, because I know how your nervous system is wired to anticipate catastrophe even when the universe is delivering a miracle, I am here to prepare you. I am here to walk you through the final countdown. I am here to make sure that when the explosion comes, you are not cowering in the basement of your fear. You are standing at the window. You are watching the sky light up. You are ready to let the old world burn so that the new one can be born in the ashes. You have been feeling it already. Do not tell me you have not. For the last 48 hours, your body has been picking up the tremors, the subtle pre-explosion vibrations that travel ahead of any major detonation. You have been restless in a way that does not match your circumstances. Your sleep has been thin, stretched tight like skin over a drum that someone is beating in the distance. You have been waking up at odd hours, your heart racing, your mind reaching for a thought that vanishes the moment you try to grasp it. You have been experiencing technical glitches that feel personal. Your phone has been acting strange, notifications arriving late, messages showing as read when you have not opened them, lights flickering in your home for no electrical reason, a ringing in your ears that comes and goes like a radio tuning to a frequency that is just out of range. You have been smelling things that are not there, a fragrance from your childhood, the scent of rain on hot pavement when the sky is clear, the ghost of a cologne or a perfume that belongs to someone you have not seen in years. These are not malfunctions. These are not symptoms of stress. These are the early shock waves. These are the universe's warning system telling you to clear the decks, to brace, to open your hands, because the delivery is imminent. The news is close. It has already left its point of origin. It is traveling through the postal system of fate, through the digital veins of destiny, through the human messenger who does not yet know they are carrying a bomb that will only destroy what needs destroying. And it will reach you by the 13th. It will find you. It will not miss. I want you to understand what I mean by very strong news, because your mind is already trying to categorize it, to predict it, to protect yourself from disappointment by lowering your expectations. Stop. Do not lower them. This news is strong in the way an earthquake is strong. It does not ask for your permission to move the ground. It moves it. This news is strong in the way a declaration of war is strong. It changes the rules of engagement overnight. This news is strong in the way a love confession is strong when it comes from someone who has never spoken of their heart before. It rewrites the history books. This news is strong in the way a judge's gavel is strong. It renders a verdict. It closes a case. It opens a cell door. It is definitive. It is absolute. It is non-negotiable. And it is yours. It has your name on it. It was generated by the choices you have made, by the integrity you have maintained, by the silent, invisible work you have been doing in the dark while the world slept. You earned this news. You summoned it. You magnetized it. And now it is coming home to you. For some of you, this news arrives as a message, a digital detonation, an email with a subject line that stops your breath, a text that fills your screen with words you have to read 3 times before they make sense because your brain cannot process the magnitude of what they contain, a direct message from an account you thought was dormant, a voice note that plays like a confession, like a proposal, like an announcement that someone has made a decision about you that changes the trajectory of both your lives. For others, it arrives as a call, a phone call at an hour that makes you know, before you even swipe to answer, that this is not ordinary. The voice on the other end will be shaking, or it will be steadier than you have ever heard it. Either way, the words will land like bricks through glass. For others, it arrives in person, a knock, a visit, an encounter engineered by forces larger than the human will. You will be somewhere you did not plan to be. They will be there, and the news will pass between you, not as words, but as a recognition so violent it feels like a physical blow. For some, it is news about money, a sum that appears where there was none, a debt forgiven, a contract awarded, an opportunity that pays more than you dared to ask for. For some, it is news about love, the confession, the return, the proposal, the revelation that someone you thought was lost to you has been fighting their way back to your orbit and has finally won the battle. For some, it is news about health, a test result that clears the fog, a diagnosis that finally names the thing so it can be healed, a body that has been keeping secrets and is now ready to reveal that the worst is over. For some, it is news about family, a reconciliation, a birth, a revelation that rewrites your lineage. For some, it is news about purpose, a calling, a mission, a door that unlocks and reveals the room you have been searching for your entire life. I cannot see the exact payload for every Virgo watching this, but I can see the force of the impact, and the force is universal. It is very strong. And it is coming by the 13th. Now, let me tell you about the explosion, because you need to know what to expect when the news hits. It is not going to be gentle. It is not going to be a soft landing. Even if the news is beautiful, even if it is the answer to a prayer you have been whispering for years, the impact is going to rattle you. Your first reaction will be disbelief. Your nervous system is calibrated for disappointment. It is calibrated for the slow drip of almosts and maybes. It is not calibrated for the fire hose of destiny. So when the news hits, you are going to freeze. You are going to feel your blood drain from your face. You are going to need to sit down. You are going to read the message twice 3 times, 4 times, looking for the catch, the mistake, the autocorrect that turns a miracle into a mundane typo. You are going to check the sender. You are going to check the date. You are going to wonder if this is a prank, a glitch, a case of mistaken identity. It is not. It is real. And the disbelief is just the first wave. The second wave is the emotional surge. Whatever the news contains, it will unlock a dam inside you. If it is joyful, you will weep, not delicate tears. Ugly, heaving, soul-cleansing sobs that leave you exhausted and reborn. If it is challenging, you will feel a rage so pure it scares you, a rage that says, finally, the truth. If it is shocking, you will laugh. That hysterical, borderline unhinged laughter that comes when reality outpaces your ability to process it. The third wave is the recalibration. Your mind will try to map the new information onto your old life and find that the old map is useless. The geography has changed. The borders have shifted. The territory you thought you were inhabiting has been renamed, and that disorientation is normal. It is necessary. It is the price of admission to the next level of your existence. I want to prepare you for the hours between now and the 13th, because how you spend them will determine how you receive the news. You have less than 24 hours, maybe less than 12. Maybe for some of you, the news is already in transit and will arrive before dawn. You cannot waste these hours in anxiety. You cannot spend them refreshing your inbox every 30 seconds or staring at your phone like a crystal ball. You need to prepare your field. You need to clear your energy. You need to make yourself into a vessel that can hold the voltage of what is coming without short-circuiting. So here is your assignment. First, you need to ground your body. Eat something solid, something from the earth, root vegetables, grains, protein, not sugar, not caffeine, not alcohol. You need your nervous system to be steady, not jangled. Drink water, not a sip. A liter, 2 liters. Flush your system. The news is going to carry an energetic charge, and hydrated tissue conducts electricity better than dry tissue. You want to be conductive. You want to be able to move the energy through you without it getting stuck in your joints, your jaw, your lower back. Second, you need to clear your space, your bedroom, your kitchen, your workspace. Throw away 3 things that represent the old chapter, just 3. A receipt, a note, a piece of clothing that holds a memory you are done with. Make space. The news needs a landing pad. It needs a clean surface to rest on. If your life is cluttered with the debris of unfinished business, the news will bounce off. Third, you need to write a permission slip. On a piece of paper, write, I am ready to receive very strong news. I do not resist my own destiny. I open my hands. I open my heart. I open my life. Sign your name. Date it the 12th. Put it under your pillow. This is not superstition. This is a command to your subconscious. It is a way of telling the deeper parts of your mind, the parts that are afraid of change, that you are consenting to the upgrade. Fourth, you need to sleep. I know you will not want to. I know the anticipation will feel like a live wire in your veins. But sleep is when the soul integrates. Sleep is when the downloads happen. Sleep is when your higher self meets with the architects of your fate and reviews the blueprints. Even if you only get 3 hours, make them deep. Put on frequencies that calm your brain. Put your phone in another room. Let the darkness hold you. And fifth, you need to surrender. The news is coming whether you worry or not. The explosion is timed. The fuse is lit. Your anxiety does not slow it down. Your doubt does not deflect it. Your preparation does not speed it up. It is coming. So release the illusion of control. Stand in the center of your life with your palms up and say, I am ready. I want to talk about the 13th itself because that date is not random. It is a portal. In numerology, 13 is the number of transformation. It is the death card without the fear. It is the collapse of the old structure so that the new one can rise. It is the phoenix number, the alchemy number, the number that scares the superstitious because it represents change so absolute that it looks like destruction to those who are clinging to the past. But you, Virgo, are not clinging. You have been ready for this collapse. You have been bored with the old structure. You have been feeling the walls close in, feeling the ceiling get lower, feeling the air get thinner, and you have been wondering if you were imagining it. You were not. The old container was simply too small for what you are becoming. And the 13th is the day the container breaks, the day the walls fall outward, the day the roof blows off and you can finally stand up straight and breathe the unlimited air of your actual potential. The news that explodes on that day is the demolition crew. It is the wrecking ball. And it is also the architect's new plan. It is destruction and creation in the same breath. It is the big bang of your next chapter. And let me tell you about the aftermath, because the explosion is not the end. It is the beginning. In the days following the 13th, you are going to feel like a different person. Your voice will sound different in your own ears, deeper, more certain. Your posture will change. You will stand taller without trying. Your eyes will look different in the mirror, clearer, older and younger at the same time. You are going to find that some people cannot look at you directly anymore. They will sense that something has shifted in your field, something that makes them feel exposed, and they will either lean in with awe or pull back with fear. Let them do either. You are not responsible for their digestion of your transformation. You are going to find that opportunities begin to cluster around the news like iron filings around a magnet. The news is not an isolated event. It is a key. And the key unlocks a series of doors that have been waiting for you. Doors that were invisible before because you did not yet have the key in your hand. You are going to find that your tolerance for nonsense drops to zero. The things you used to put up with, the conversations you used to endure, the dynamics you used to manage out of politeness will become impossible. The news will have raised your frequency, and low-frequency interactions will feel like sandpaper on your skin. You are going to find that your dreams become more vivid, more instructive, more prophetic. The veil between your waking life and your sleeping guidance will be thinner because the explosion will have blasted holes in the barriers between dimensions. You are going to find that you know things before they happen. Not because you are psychic, but because the news has connected you to a timeline where the future is not a mystery but a memory you have not lived yet. I also need to warn you about the temptation to control the explosion. You are Virgo. You like to manage outcomes. You like to plan the aftermath. You like to have a spreadsheet for the debris. But this explosion will not be managed. It will not be organized. It will not follow your preferred timeline of processing and integration. It will be messy. It will knock things over that you thought were stable. It will reveal foundations that are rotten. It will expose wiring that is faulty. And your job is not to clean up immediately. Your job is to let the dust settle. Your job is to let the smoke clear. Your job is to walk through the rubble with your eyes open and your heart steady, taking inventory of what survived and what needed to be destroyed. Some relationships will not survive the news, not because the news is bad, but because the news makes you visible in a way that certain people cannot handle. Some plans will be rendered obsolete. Some goals will be revealed as too small. Some identities will crumble because they were built for the old world, and the new world requires a new you. Do not rush to rebuild. Do not rush to make sense of it. Let the chaos be chaos for a moment. Let the explosion have its echo. The universe knows what it is doing. The detonation was precise. It only destroyed what was already dead. For those of you who are afraid that the news might be negative, let me speak directly to that fear. Strong news is not bad news. Strong news is clear news. It is news that cuts through ambiguity. It is news that ends the waiting. It is news that stops the hemorrhaging of uncertainty. Even if the content of the message is something you would not have chosen, the strength of it is a gift, because you would rather know than wonder. You would rather stand in the truth, however sharp it is, than kneel in the fog of not knowing. And the truth is, Virgo, the news that is coming is not bad. The energy around it is not dark. The explosion is not a bomb. It is a birth. It is the sound of a wall coming down that was keeping you from your own garden. It is the sound of a door being kicked open by the part of you that is done waiting. It is the sound of your name being called across a crowded room by destiny itself. It is strong because it is love. It is strong because it is truth. It is strong because it is yours. So in these final hours, I want you to do something that will feel unnatural but necessary. I want you to celebrate before the news arrives. I want you to put on music that makes you feel like the main character. I want you to dance in your kitchen. I want you to look in the mirror and say, I am ready for very strong news. I can handle it. I was built for it. I want you to anoint yourself, oil on your wrists, water on your forehead, whatever ritual makes you feel consecrated, because you are not just receiving news, you are receiving a transmission. You are being upgraded. You are being initiated. And initiations require preparation. They require intention. They require the courage to say yes before you even know the question. The 13th is coming. It is unstoppable. It is already written in the ledger of time. The messenger is already moving. The email is already drafted. The phone is already in hand. The heart is already pounding in the chest of the person who is about to change your life. You do not need to chase it. You do not need to manipulate it. You only need to be still enough to hear it when it lands, to be brave enough to open it when it arrives, to be wise enough to know that your life is about to split into before and after, and that the after is going to be so much bigger, so much brighter, so much more you than the before ever could have been. Virgo, prepare yourself. The countdown is real. The clock is ticking. The explosion is timed. And by the 13th of this month, before the sun sets, before the stars take their positions, you will know. You will hold the news in your hands. You will feel the heat of it. You will hear the roar of your own life expanding beyond the borders you thought were permanent. And you will survive it. Not just survive. You will thrive in the new landscape. You will build a city in the crater. You will plant gardens in the ash. You will look back at the 12th, at this moment right now, and you will remember that you were warned, that you were prepared, that you were ready. And you will thank the universe for not giving you small news, for not giving you gentle news, for giving you very strong news, delivered with the force of a love that knows you are strong enough to hold it. If you felt the urgency of this message vibrating in your sternum, if you know that something massive is already racing towards you, if you are ready to stand in the blast zone of your own becoming and let it remake you, then claim your readiness now. Drop a comment below and write, "I am ready for the 13th." Let the universe hear your open hands. Let your own soul record this moment as the day before everything changed. And if this transmission found you at the exact hour you needed to be warned, to be prepared, to be held in anticipation of your own detonation, subscribe for more messages that arrive before the explosion and guide you through the fire. The news is coming. It is very strong. And Virgo, you were born to receive it. Stand firm. The 13th is yours.